Well, we must look at tomorrow. St. Paul Trois Chateaux to Nîmes, 159 kilometers, 159.4 kilometers on tap tomorrow, sprint stage, I think.
Well, it could be a sprint stage, but it's not completely flat. The stage goes through the beautiful, stunning region of the Gorges des Ardèches, and it goes from east to west, and it's going to be all up and down. But especially on the very end, in the open roads leading to Nîmes, always crosswinds are expected there. So that could be a factor for tomorrow's stage. So there will be a little KOM, middle race, 4-category climb, and also an intermediate sprint at 132 kilometers. So that would be important for the race because it's not far from the finish. And right after that intermediate sprint, there will be a little what you can call bump, or it's actually like a little hill, and that could be could make a difference.
It's not much at all. It's a slight little. These guys will fly over it, but I think we're looking at that intermediate sprint that's kind of late in the stage. That could be interesting to watch out for. And then we have, of course, the sprint arrival in Nîmes, which is a beautiful place with this Roman cathedral, excuse me, it's Roman Colosseum. It looks better than the one that you'd see in Rome. So go to Nîmes and check out a beautiful Colosseum if you want to see a Colosseum.
Maybe we can have a nice Italian dinner there.
Well, I know a few places. The Tour de France has been there a couple times before. One time was when I skipped the finish because it was a long transfer at the end of a rest day. We had to drive ahead, and I remember looking at this and seeing Jack Bauer's move, and he was almost going to pull it off, and right on the line, that solo Jack Bauer was crushed. His dreams were crushed by Alexander Kristoff, the Norwegian. And then we had another time where Caleb Ewan ripped it apart ahead of Viviani and Dylan Groenewegen. Now the weather is going to be good for us and good for the riders again tomorrow, 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, sunny the way Andre and I like it, but a bit of winds, and that could be good for the cycling racing fans because that could rip up the race, put it into echelons.
I'm not expecting a sprint finish tomorrow. I think a few things will happen before the sprint, and we'll see teams and some battles for the GC as well.
Well, I expect that expectation of yours to be reflected in the predictions, which we're going to get into now. And when we look at the riders on tap tomorrow, we have to look at the sprinters, and we have to be considering Mark Cavendish matching the record of the great Eddy Merckx. And Eddy Merckx laughed about this to one of the Belgian papers. He said, well, what does that record mean? I've won 5 Tour de France overalls, 34 stage wins in the Tour de France is nothing. So Eddy Merckx still has that, and I don't think Mark Cavendish is ever going to get 5 Tour de France wins. But we need to look at the sprinters. Yeah. We got Sonny Colbrelli, Mark Cavendish. Who else do we have on?
Well, we still have Boigny, then we have Matthews, and we have, of course, Wout van Aert that, you know, after today...
Why not sprint again? Case Bowl, we have
Case
out there,
Bowl, yep.
Your man, Nasser Bohani.
Yes, I already named that. But, so let's pick a name.
Jasper Philipsen, second the other day.
Still there, yes.
Third.
But my man from tomorrow is Wout van Aert again.
Is that from an escape? Because you're saying an escape, or...
It's going to be a sprint or a small bunch sprint.
Well, if crosswinds do rip it apart, I'll give it to you, because in the last 2 editions of the Tour de France, beginning 2 years ago in Albi, yep, it was Wout van Aert on top in those crosswind stages. So it could happen again tomorrow. Andre could be getting this one right. I'm going to be going in favor of records in the Tour de France, in favor of Mark Cavendish in the green jersey, who struggled over the climbs today, made the time cuts. We should mention Luke Rowe did not make the time cut today, but Mark Cavendish was in there. It's going to be motivated for stage 12 tomorrow. We're heading into Nîmes, a beautiful city, a beautiful stage race, the 2021 Tour de France, stage 12.